you're experiencing holiday stress. 24% of our energy actually comes from rest. Most of it comes from air. People think it comes from food, but only 20% of your energy comes from food and water. Because when you start getting congested with all of this pollution and air and stagnation in the body, it will affect your mood. Hello, and welcome to IIOM YouTube channel, where we delve into essential topics for a healthier lifestyle. Today, we'll be exploring holiday stress and discuss ways to stay healthy during this bustling and hustling time of the year. So let's look at these tips for staying healthy amidst all the festivities. You know, the holiday season does bring joy, but they can also usher in stress and impact our health. So let's explore what it is, what this holiday stress is. Let's look at how we can recognize it and then develop effective strategies for maintaining balance and wellness during this relatively festive time of the year. And so while it's being festive, we can have our health be festive at the same time. So what we're going to talk about is some practical tips for managing this stress. But let's understand what some of the key factors are that indicate you even having stress. You might not even recognize it. So let's first understand what it entails and how it affects our mental and even our physical health. You know, information is power. So let's look at the information, because while information is power, acknowledgement and use of this information is its first cousin. So let's look at what happens. What you might be experiencing a heightened sense of agitation, impatience, irritability, inaction, indecisiveness, kind of an overall sense of heightened apprehension and a feeling of just being out of control and not even realizing it. So if you feel that happening, then that's the holiday stress coming right on upon you. And so why is it important? Why is managing stress important? Well, the stress can impact your health in a number of ways. It affects your sleep. It affects your adrenals. You start kicking out excess cortisol, that fight and flight mechanism. And then that causes constriction of your blood vessels. So it affects your digestion. You'll get indigestion, you'll get gas and burping. It causes increase in blood pressure. So all of these things are what happen when you have this stress. And you might not even know it. They even call high blood pressure the silent killer. So, but if you start feeling this sense that we talked about, this sense of agitation, this overall sense of being out of control, you're experiencing holiday stress. So let's look at some strategies and some healthy, some health habits that you can add to your program to kind of help you to navigate through these periods in a very inexpensive, very effective, very empowering way. And basically, I'm going to talk about now, my favorite topic, some of those 8 laws of health. You hear me talk about it all the time. Rather than understanding all of these different conditions, those 800 to 8,000 labels they want to give to a whole bunch of issues that you're experiencing, you really only have to know less than one hand, 8 things. And if you do these 8 things in an integrated and in a comprehensive way, it resolves all 800 to 8,000 of those named things. Whether you want to call it emotional imbalance, you want to call it high blood pressure, you want to call it precancerous conditions, you want to call it depression, anxiety, all these issues disappear if you exercise and manage these 8 laws of health. Let's focus on a few of them. Nutrition, exercise, and rest. Let's look at those. Those are very, very powerful. And so let's talk about that, and we'll incorporate some of the other ones as we talk about these three key things. But first of all, let's look at nutrition. What I want to share with you is a tip for how you can know, you can basically effectively have a PhD in nutrition without going to school. All you have to do is go to your grocery store. And so when you go to the grocery store, the key to being able to have balanced nutrition is doing 80% of your shopping around the edges. That's where you have all your fruits and vegetables, even your meat and dairy are around the edges. Now you want to manage the consumption of that. So while you're doing that 80% of the shopping around the edges, you want to do probably 60 to 80% of that shopping in the produce area. What's produce? The fruits, the vegetables, all of those, that big wide area that they have. And that it can't be in the aisles, that big area. And it's a good thing they even telling you, this is the produce area. Those are the foods that produce health. So if you do 80% of your shopping around the edges of the store, the only reason you need to go into the aisles is for toilet paper, because you'll have very good bowel motility. On the other hand, if you're doing 80% of your shopping in the aisles, the only thing you won't need is toilet paper, because you're going to be so gummed up and constipated that you're going to need some major action to get those bowel movements. You might have to put a little bit of some kind of a nutritional hand grenade in your stomach to shake up get that peristaltic action to get those intestines working. So what you want to do is kind of go to the store and exercise this rule of doing most of the shopping. Now, there's some additional things that we'll talk about in future sessions that will tell you how you can even tell whether or not or how much meat and dairy you can have in the diet. But for now, just do 80% of your shopping around the edges. So what you want to do is, while you're prioritizing self-care amidst the festivities, in addition to nutrition, try to get in a little bit of exercise. And this could be difficult for a lot of us, even for myself. Sometimes I'm sitting in front of the screen, I'm working, you get busy. But if you're very intentional about making sure you get the exercise, you can get up and walk around for 5 or 10 minutes, just to stretch and shake a little bit. And you know, there's other things you can do. Massage actually is a passive exercise. You can do warm baths with essential oils. You want a really good exercise that'll wake up the system and get some circulation. Do a cold plunge. Get into a cold bath for a minute or two. Or even better yet, while you're taking the shower, do a contrast shower. That's a blood massage. It causes the blood vessels, it's called vasoconstriction and dilation. It kind of, when the hot water is there, it opens up the blood vessels. And then you put the cold water, they close up real quick. And so you get that massaging effort, and it significantly gets the circulation going in the body. And that's what exercise does. So rather than running 15 miles or even a mile, do a good contrast shower and you get basically the same effect. Of course, you know, the sauna, the warm baths, they basically do the relaxation and the dilation, but a good exercise is that contrast shower. Another good thing that you can incorporate while you're turning on that shower and you're waiting for it to heat up, you can do a great lymphatic massage. And lymphatic massage, you know, all of those poisons, they come out of the blood and they go into the lymphatic system, which is what carries it eventually to the kidneys and the bowels for emptying out. But that lymphatic system only moves through exercise. So in addition to those other things that I talked about, the contrast shower, going out doing some deep breathing, even if you're sitting at your desk, just stop and breathe in for a count of 5 to 10. Hold it, and then breathe out. and sometimes you can even feel the lightness come upon you. So that's an exercise that you can even do while you're sitting down. But with this lymphatic massage, one of the things I want to show you is get a skin brush. A lymphatic massage brush. It's a nice soft bristle brush, and it has a long handle. This one is only about 8 inches, but they come up to about a foot and a half. And you want to brush down. So you brush down towards the intestines, everything, and in the back. You can do it in the back as well. So you brush down towards the intestines, and you brush it from the ankles up into the groin, front, back, and in the back, and get a nice, good, brisk 1 to 2 or 3 minute lymphatic massage while you're waiting for the shower. And let me tell you, you do that, and you do that contrast shower, you'll be ready for prime time. And the contrast shower, you basically want to be in the hot. And I have a nice little routine. You want to do a minimum of 3 iterations for the therapeutic effect and for the exercise effect. So you get into the hot for about 2 to 3 minutes. And what I do is I'm washing while I'm in the hot. So I'm washing real good with my non-toxic soap. And so you wash, and then you're there, and I'll stretch around and move to maybe touch my toes. So you're getting the hot water, and then you want to be in the cold. Then you turn it to as cold as you can stand. You can start with lukewarm, and then work up to as cold as you can stand. My water gets up to, I actually tested, it goes up, today it was up to 55, it was 55 degrees. So the heat will be a little over 100 degrees, and then you get to the 55 degrees, and you will feel it. You might want to you might want to do it lukewarm in the beginning till you get used to it, but you're not going to die. Trust me. But what that will do is you'll get that vasoconstriction and the dilation that I talked about, and that good blood massage. And then the second iteration, I'll brush my teeth real good, and with the hot. And then I'll stretch and do some things. I have a little routine that I do while I'm there in the hot water. So I'm using my time productively, something that I'm doing anyway. And so you basically what I'm trying to explain to you is, you manage and you be very intentional about including these 8 laws of health in a very thoughtful way. So then, of course, after a good brushing of the teeth, then I'll get to the cold again, and then I'll do some other stretching. And then on the third iteration, that's when I do my shaving. So I wash, and then teeth, and then shave. And so I have this nice routine, and sometimes, well, I work out. I practice in track and field, and so I'll do some jumps while I'm in the shower. And when it's cold, you can jump a lot easier. So you kneel that, and you don't have to jump high. Just do a couple of light skips while you're in there, and you're getting a nice bit of exercise there. So you can get your nutrition, your exercise, and then another very important thing during the holidays is rest. 24% of our energy actually comes from rest. Most of it comes from air. People think it comes from food, but only 20% of your energy comes from food and water. And they're important, but fresh air while you're doing it. Don't be afraid to open up the windows and let a little bit of fresh air come in. It's not going to kill you. Yes, a little cold, and it might make your heating bill go up about 15 or 20 cents. But you got open the windows or open the door, let some fresh air rush in. And if you can, go outside for a minute or two. During the daylight hours, get some real sunlight instead of this artificial sunlight of all of the lighting in the house. And the real sunlight, which is another one of those laws of health, basically engages and activates the nervous system in very subtle ways. And the serotonin, the melatonin, that helps you to sleep better. And all of these things help with those chemicals that you need for emotional well-being. Because when you start getting congested with all of this pollution and air and stagnation in the body, it will affect your mood. And then as soon as you get that fresh air, a little bit of sunlight, get that circulation going, it resolves, as I said, all of those fancy names they want to call depression, anxiety, split personality. All those things go away by incorporating this air, water, sunlight, nutrition, exercise, rest, temperance, another important law. Don't do anything too much. So the law of temperance or moderation says you want to do those things that are harmful. You want to avoid those things that are harmful. And you want to do those things that are good for you in moderation. And then, of course, the other one, the last of those laws, which is the most important, is that mental, spiritual, emotional well-being. Thinking very positively about yourself, your family, your friends, associates. So these are some inexpensive, very empowering strategies that you can use for addressing both physical and emotional health during the holiday seasons. So, set some boundaries, own it. Don't let the situation manage you. You manage it. And, what you want to do is have a very thoughtful, intentional approach for adopting these very practical, empowering strategies for maintaining healthy habits and prioritizing you and your health during the holiday season, so that while it can be a time, let it be a time of joy and celebration, and not a time of just stress and anxiety and apprehensiveness. So the key is you want to own the holidays and don't let it own you. So think about which one of these strategies makes sense for you. I've given a few, and just incorporate them. Even if you do 2 or 3, you'll find it gets addictive. You'll be adding 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in a very easy and automatic way. So what you want to do is both be loving and lovable during the holiday season. But remember, love yourself first. Take care of yourself. You can't give love if you don't have any. So love yourself first, and then you'll have more to give to others, to your friends, your family, associates. So take care of you with the intentional application of some of these strategies that we covered, and build bridges to your inner self, as well as to your family, friends, and associates. And as I said, we'll give more strategies as time goes by for empowering you to manage your health, to be able to implement these 8 laws of health, which are very, very, very powerful ways of addressing those 800 to 8,000 named conditions and issues, health issues, that people spend a whole lot of time and energy running to their doctors for. And not that that's a problem. When you have acute issues, there's no better strategy in the world than going to your primary care physician. But they do call it the practice of medicine, because they practice on the 95% of the people that don't need them for these 800 to 8,000 different issues. And so they'll really hone their skills for the 5% that do need them, for gunshot wounds, or if you get hit by a Mack truck, or severe bleeding, those acute issues. But a lot of these chronic issues, those 95% of those chronic issues, you can deal with these natural 8 laws of health. And so all you need is 8 of those fingers. And then if you want to use all 10 fingers, basically you can add in gratitude, be very thankful thankful to God for the health and the friends and the family and being able to enjoy the holiday season. And then the 10th one is share it with others. Share it with your friends, family, associates. So if you enjoyed this, hit the notification bell so you never miss out on additional videos that we have planned for you. So please like and subscribe and share this with your family and friends. Until next time, have fun, stay healthy during the holiday season. Bye for now, and God bless.